Hey y'all, how are you? In my last video, I talked to you about Fall Creek Rock Shop, and while I was there, the owner of, the guy who was working there told me about St. James Winery that's in St. James, Missouri, which was just a few minutes down the road, about 10 minutes. So while I was in the area, I did stop and check that out. I want to show you a couple of the things that I got while I was there. And I'm going to tell you about the man I met there who was part of my tribe. Anyway, a little bit about St. James Winery. They make a lot of fruit wines. They also have the semi-dry, the dry, sparkling fruit wines and things like that. Really cool shop. The prices were pretty good. I didn't do a full wine tasting, although they do offer a full wine tasting there. I was interested in the strawberry wine for 4th of July, and I picked up two. They have the strawberry Moscato and the strawberry rosé were the two that I picked. I bought two of the strawberry Moscato. It's normally $12.99. It's a seasonal wine, so they had a special where you could get two for the price of one. So I did pick up two of the strawberry Moscato, one as a gift for someone else and one for here for 4th of July. Also, the strawberry rosé, how much was it? It was $12.99 as well. Their prices are really reasonable. Let's see, on my list here, the most expensive one is $32. It's a raspberry and dark chocolate. They also have canned wine. I'm not a fan of canned wine. I gotta have the wine in the bottle. So anyway, they have some sweet wines for $7.99, and like I say, all the way up to $32.99. Oh, whoop! Here's another one, expensive. It's a blackberry and red plum. It was $43.99 on that. So different wines for different walks of life, or whatever your preference is. Anyway, super cool place. So now let me tell you the cool story about it all. So in the wine tasting, there was a man who worked there who came up, did the wine tasting. He was talking to me for a minute. I didn't tell him anything about anything. We're just talking about wine. So when I get ready to check out, he's the one who checks me out. And he starts talking about his property that he has, and it's 40 acres and what he's wanting to work on his property. And I was telling him, oh yeah, I would like to get some land. And I didn't ever finish telling him the story. And he started talking about what we were talking about. What even got us on that was I was talking about, when I go through to St. Louis, that's where my father is buried at, in St. Louis. And that got him talking about his property and saying that whether he's in the process of clearing a place on his 40 acres for a family cemetery. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool, right? And so anyway, he was talking about it a little further, and then he said that he wanted to build a table. Well, he was going to put the cemetery in the middle of the 40 acres at a certain point there, and that he wanted to make a table that stayed there on the cemetery part. And I couldn't figure out what he wanted this table for. And he kept talking, and he said, well, I'm going to build this table that will stay there forever, and whenever we get ready to make decisions about big things, then we'll go out to the cemetery and sit at the table. And I was still waiting for what the purpose of this was, and he said, well, that way we'll be sitting amongst the ancestors, and they will be part of every decision we make. And I said, oh, there's my tribe right there. Look at that. You meet your tribe anywhere you go. So that's a kind of cool thing. I think I will whenever we do get our land, think about doing something like that there as well. Everywhere I ever live, I have a place on my property where I do sit and put out things for the ancestors, and that's where I do some of my work. But that was the coolest thing ever, that the ancestors will always be able to sit at the table with you and help guide your decisions right there, because they'll all be buried there, and you leave your offerings and invite them to the table. So anyway, I thought it was kind of cool that he told me this story, because one, I never said anything about any of my beliefs or anything about the ancestors. I was just talking about a burial spot that I go to, leave flowers and stuff for my dad. So you never know who you're going to meet, where you're going to meet them. You might just go in to buy a bottle of wine and find your tribe. Also, I forgot what I was going to tell you. Oh, it's getting late and I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, tell me, when you're out and about, have you ever met your tribe that just makes your hair stand up and say, oh, I met my people? I want to hear your stories. Tell me your stories. I'm going to come back in a little while when I get some of this stuff cleared off of here, where I can make a longer video so I can tell you some other stuff going on. But I do want to hear your stories about the people you meet while you're walking down the street. Much love, everybody.